Hello, class. You already know what time it is. Boom! First rule punk time. Today we're going to look at chapter 12. And the last couple chapters we read, Malu signed a petition, saw some more of the maybe her people. Maybe she'll make some friends after all. It's chapter 12. And I might read a couple chapters. I don't know how long these all are. Yeah, we'll see. Chapter 12. The green fall Fiesta flyer was burning a hole in my backpack when I walked up to our building. But I'd have to wait to read it because our neighbor, Senora Aurelia, was sitting on a rocker on the porch. The sound of a woman's voice, kind of mournful, almost like a wounded animal, filled the air. Goosebumps crawled up my arms. Senora Aurelia looked up from what she was doing when I opened the gate. Ven niña, she motioned for me to join her. You want a snack? I really just want to go to my room, but Mom would have said that was rude, so I dropped my bag on the floor and sat on the porch swing. Cookie? She asked, pointing to the package of Wafer Cookies on the table next to her. Senora Aurelia was crocheting something yellow and fluffy. She had an assortment of items on a side table, including a mug of coffee, a small CD player, a few CDs, and a brand new roll of toilet paper? Thank you, I said, and took a cookie. I bit into the thin, crispy outside, and the powdery crumbs fell onto my shirt. When I was a little girl in Mexico, there were flowers everywhere that same color, Senora Aurelia said, pointing to my day-glow fuchsia leggings. Es un color bonito. Dad said that while a lot of great music came from the 80s, there were a lot of not-so-great things, too, like Ronald Reagan and day-glow fashion. This was one thing we didn't agree on. I wore the leggings under a pair of cut-off shorts since I couldn't wear them as bottoms. But Principal Rivera stopped me in the hall between 4th and 5th period and told me cut-off shorts were not allowed either. I asked her if that was in the dress code. Not to be a smart aleck, but because I didn't remember seeing cut-offs listed. But she ignored my question and told me not to wear them again. I like it too, I said. Mom had told me I looked like a penniless street urchin before I left for school. You'd be surprised the many ways your mom can insult you when she's an English professor. Nothing I wore was señorita enough for her. I decided that Mom and Principal Rivera would probably be best friends if they ever met. What are you listening to? I asked. This is Lola Beltran, Senora Aurelia said. La Grande. It sounds really sad, I said. Pues sí, life is sad, no? Truth, Senora Aurelia, I said, finishing my cookie and brushing crumbs off my lap. You're too young to agree, she said, waving me away with her needle. What do you have to be sad about, Nina? I wish I didn't have to move, I said, wondering why adults always thought kids had it so easy. I wish I was home. Ah, see, home, she said. You are sad because you miss it? I do. What's important is that we keep going. That's how we survive, Senora Aurelia said, making a fist like a boxer. You keep looking back and you get stuck in the past. It's not the past, I said. I am going back. Si, cuando? In 2 years, I said in a whisper, realizing how ridiculous I sounded. 2 years? Híjole, Senora Aurelia said. You're going to be tired of waiting. Yeah, I said. It already feels like forever. So you have more than one home, Senora Aurelia said with a shrug. That's not a bad thing. Most people don't have any. Or some people don't have any. I guess, I said. Besides, she went on, you have your, como se dice, your toys? Phone and computer? Like you never left? It's not the same, I said. Bueno, things could always be worse, no? Why did adults always say stuff like that? As if thinking about a worse situation was really going to make you feel better. Senora Aurelia was obviously not going to sympathize with me, so I changed the subject. What are you making? I asked. A cover. Para el toilet paper. She held up what looked like a frilly Civil War-era skirt for me to see. A toilet paper cover? Si, niña, she said, as if it was the most obvious thing. On the table next to the plate of wafers was a creepy-looking doll with peach-colored skin and a head of big curly black hair. Instead of legs, her torso tapered into what looked like a short baton. One fat, round, rubbery leg. I shuddered. I picked up the stack of CDs and read through the names. Some of them were familiar, stuff Mom listened to when she was in a super Mexican mood. The Lola Beltran CD had a photo of a woman with a massive lacquered bun and long spider-leg eyelashes. Her head was tilted back slightly, and she held her hands out in a theatrical gesture. Her long fingers ended in red polished nails. Do you like ranchero music? Senora Aurelia asked. Does your mammy play it for you? Or mommy play it for you? She plays it sometimes, I said. I stacked the CDs back into place neatly. Take them, Senora Aurelia said. Oh, no, I couldn't. It's not rock and roll, but it's good music, she said, and let out a raspy chuckle that made it sound like she was laughing at her own little inside joke. I wondered what Senora Aurelia knew about rock and roll. I pulled the Lola Beltran CD from the top of the pile. I'll just borrow this one, I said, not wanting to be rude, and I'll bring it back right away. Senora Aurelia nodded. And this is for you and your mommy, she said, a housewarming gift. I watched as she pulled the crochet dress onto the creepy doll. She picked up the roll of toilet paper and placed the stumpy doll leg in the center of the cardboard tube. Then she fixed the bottom of the dress until there was no sign of a roll of toilet paper lurking underneath. This? She twirled the doll in its frilly dress like it was a debutante. Oh, wow, I said. Thank you. I took the doll and toilet paper. I didn't know anything about housewarming gifts, but this definitely had to be one of the stranger ones. And don't forget this, she said. Senora Aurelia removed the Lola Beltran CD from the CD player and handed it to me. She popped in another disc before picking up her crochet needle again. I headed inside as a deep male voice sang another sad song. In my room, I pulled the green sheet out of my backpack and finally got to read it again. Fall Fiesta was an annual fundraiser carnival at Posada. Food and fun for the whole family, the flyer announced. But the most exciting part, the part I focused on, was toward the bottom. There would be a talent show, and performers were invited to audition. I felt a fountain of hope bubbling up as I read the words out loud one more time. Musical acts welcome. I couldn't wait to see the kind of cool bands would play, and maybe I'd even have a chance to find my people there. Then there's a zine here. It says, Senorita Germs. What are little girls made of? Sugar, good, neat, helper, sweet, smile, pretty, happy, nice. Something tells me that. Malu doesn't really believe that. Define, dream yourself. Warning, modern girl. Bold, roaring, smart, weird, smelly, strong, electric, sweaty, confident, cool, extraordinary. Polystyrene. Her real name was Marianne Elliott. Marianne Elliott said she's one of my favorite punk senoritas. When she was 18, she saw a punk band play and decided she could do it too. She formed the X-Ray Specs in 1977. Their album was Germ-Free Adolescence. She believed that punk is about what you do. She sang about social issues like the environment and criticized beauty standards. She was a vegetarian. She wore clothes made out of plastics, mismatched socks, day-glow, and braces. You know, there are some punk bands called, one of the all-time classic great ones is the Adolescents, and there's also the Germs. I wonder if they got their influence by them. Anyway, check out what you need to do to mark this activity as completed, guys.